I also think that it's okay to make mistakes, and I also think that it's okay to like the pace that you learn your mistakes. It doesn't make you an idiot, or it doesn't make anybody enabling you anything. You're just acknowledging the pace of the learning process where you make, where you learn from your mistakes.
As long as you don't give up,
I
right?
understand that element, but I fundamentally disagree with you. Mistakes are not okay. If they were okay, they wouldn't be called mistakes. They'd be called okays. And that's the problem.
Yeah, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes.
Just because you're supposed to learn from it don't mean it's okay.
But nobody said it was okay.
You just said mistakes are okay.
I also think that it's okay to make mistakes. I didn't say it's okay to make mistakes, or it's okay to make mistakes.
You did, in fact, say that.
How is that even life? I'm trying to understand how that is even life. You can't go through life and not make mistakes.
That's not what I'm saying. Neither one of y'all are letting me land. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying. People who do that tend to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again, and they are not learning. Because if you did it again, did you learn? Where's the evidence that you learned if you made the same mistake again? There's no evidence that you actually learned.
What if they learned it from the first time, but they were just taking their time with the pace they're learning it?
Let's just use sport.
Are we going to make mistakes? Yes. Should you learn from your mistakes? Yes, but they're not okay. Insurance should pay you out if you have a car accident. And they will. But does that mean the car accident is okay? No, it was not okay.
I don't know what difference it makes.
I'm admonishing anyone that wants to follow what I'm saying. Do not adopt the mentality that mistakes are okay. If they happen, acknowledge them and extract what you can learn from them. But if you adapt that mentality that they're okay, it's cool, you're going to keep making the same mistake. And after you make the mistake once, it's no longer a mistake. It's a choice. You can only make a mistake one time. After the first time, it ain't a mistake no more. That's a choice.
Okay.
Message.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. Choosing to make the same mistakes, or choosing. So, I'm having this conversation, but I guess this is a stickler thing for me, because like I have a family member that has been saying that for 40. People make mistakes. People make mistakes. And it's like it's the same. You can't make the same mistakes. 2, 3, 4, 500 times, like 2, 3, 4, up to 500 times. That's not a mistake. And it was interesting because at the end when he said the first time is a mistake, the second time is a choice. I get people don't believe that. People do believe like I can make the same mistake over and over and over again. And I've realized what it is from my experience, there are two types of people. There are people who make the same mistake over and over and over again, and they're stuck to deal with it. And then there are people who make the same mistake over and over and over again, and they expect somebody else to help them with it. And I think that becomes the issue, because a lot of times after a while, people just leave you alone. That's normally how it goes. Like if you, like when they say people, if you hard-headed, like if you hard-headed, you hard-headed. Like grandmother used to say, hard head make a soft ass. So if life spank you, then you don't make, it's funny because when life spanks you, normally people stop making the same mistakes. But if life doesn't spank you because, let's just say, you had a cover and a support system, or, somebody else fixes it for you or whatever, you're going to keep doing it all over again. And that's when it becomes a choice. That's when you can say, that's when the person can look at you and go, oh no, you just do that all the time. You do that all the time. And it doesn't really affect you because you haven't felt the weight of it. And, like I was commenting about, some of the people I've known in my life where I've met people years later, I knew you 5 years ago. We ain't talked I met you 5 years ago. We ain't talked maybe 2 years, and you're still on the same thing. And people go, I can't quite figure it out. And it's like, you don't want to, because sometimes, We like doing what we're doing, even though we know the consequences. And I'll say, like me personally, I think I have an issue with playing stupid. Like when somebody does something all the time and they do the, I didn't know. No. This is a choice. You choose to do this shit, but you try to, and you choose to play it like you're retarded when it's time for the consequences. So people give you a pass, and after a while, you know, when people figure that out, it's disrespectful, it's insulting, and they're gonna get at you. You know, and it's weird because like, yeah, it's no nice way to say this. Like when the young lady was talking about, people do it at their own pace. Um, when your mistakes start to affect other people, you have no control over how they respond to it. You know what I'm saying? I've had friends who played around and made mistakes, got me locked up because of them. I've had people make mistakes and cost me money. You know, but I just gotta do. I had people swear they make mistakes and destroy something on purpose, in my opinion. Because they just wanted what they wanted at the time. I had people make mistakes and then they go, but you can handle that though. Hide behind religion. God don't give you more than you can handle. So you saying God gave me you as a fuck up, like that, and I'm supposed to just handle you fucking up all the time? It's like, no, we're not doing that. But the reverse is interesting because the reverse is people with that mindset, they expect other people to be on point. They can't accept that same um, mo. I've noticed, like, okay, if you a person who just constantly, it's all good, that's okay. You can't handle a person like yourself that does it to you. Oh, that's okay. No, it's not okay. It's like, oh, okay, so it's cool when you do it. I understand. You know, turn into lethal shooter. I understand it now, but and I got family friends same way, where when people are left alone, oh, I've seen people just, because there comes a point where people just they exile you, they just leave you be. And I've seen it where people go, okay, I could just meet a new crop of people, and they run that cycle where they do meet a new crop of people and they do the same stuff, and they all of those people fall out and they do it again, from your teenage years, maybe all the way to your 30s. And then you hit a point where ain't nobody else around, and now it's just you. It's just you and your decisions and your choices. And I've only, I think I know two people who actually constantly would do dumb shit. But but when they became the ones that had to live with it, they didn't complain. I only know two. Only know two. They'd be like, well, because um, they enjoyed the life that they were living, the way they were living it. It didn't make sense to me, it didn't make sense to other people around them, but hey, but they were comfortable with it. And part of that is a comfortability issue, because some people, how can I say it? Some people choose to make mistakes on purpose as a form of laziness. You know what I'm saying? I've known people who kind of like, if I fuck this up, then you'll take over, and then I could just kick my feet up. You know what I'm saying? So so you notice they constantly fucking up something. It's, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do, but they're constantly kicking their feet up. And then you go, okay, all right. You want an A on a group project by you know, by playing the imbecile role. I understand. I understand it now. But because like I had a family. I don't talk to them up. I have a family member. He wound up being homeless by his own doing, and he would come around other family, and they feed them, clean them up, and he would constantly tell them how stupid they was for paying bills, and you paying bills, and you got your lights on and the water on, you got food in the refrigerator. This is all a scam, and it's like, why don't you just stay your bitch ass out on the street then? You saying all this stuff, but you come in here because you got somewhere to go when it get too rough for you. You come here, you take a shower, you eat the food, you talk shit, you ask for money, then you run your bitch ass back out on the street. You know what I'm saying? But that's on purpose, right? And then, when those people died, wasn't nowhere to run to. And wasn't nobody to say, "Oh, y'all crazy, y'all stupid," because now his ass really had to be out on the street. It was no, I go over there eating. Nope, but none of that. So, it's a difference between when you choosing to do it on purpose, and because people make mistakes for real, but he's right. It's a choice after a certain point, because people want to live in an assumption like, oh, it's not a big deal to you, and it's funny because why would you bring you're comfortable bringing your shit to somebody else's doorstep? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a choice too. Normally, you should have pride enough to go, I'm not finna make you part of my mistakes. But nah, people got to involve other people because they don't want to deal with them, and that's a problem. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.